Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do metal leafing. So first we have some variegated metal leaf. Looks pretty cool, has this interesting pattern on it. And we have some genuine silver leaf. And we have some genuine copper. Also looks pretty cool. And we have some imitation gold. The real stuff is kind of expensive, so I opted to have this instead. And we're gonna need some cotton to make these cotton buds out of. And of course we're gonna need some adhesive. I have this from the company called Mona Lisa. It's a water-based adhesive and seems to be working pretty well with lures. And of course we're gonna need a knife to cut the silver leaf. And of course we're gonna need a brush to apply the adhesive as well. So I'm gonna show you guys how to cut the silver leaf, and as you can see, this is very delicate. So you have to be careful not to tear it up. I just take my knife and press it on. And then just tear a piece out of it very gently. You focus the camera a little bit. I'm gonna do the head part first on the lure, so I'm gonna be cutting these smaller pieces first. And do them for the other side as well. Like so. Here we have a couple of pieces. So as you guys can see, I've actually masked an area here that I don't want the adhesive going over. And I usually always do this with lures that have a lot of head details and things like that. So as I start to apply the adhesive, I try to make sure that I don't put too much of it. You actually want to have a very, very thin layer of adhesive, be it water-based or an oil-based one. You always want to try to have a very thin layer of it. This is just because that if you actually put too much of it, when you actually start to press the silver leaf onto the lure, or any piece for that matter, it might actually tear more easily, and we definitely don't want that. And of course, make sure that you actually get every single little area covered with the adhesive. I guess that goes without saying. Alright, I'm gonna take a piece of that cotton buds, and I'm gonna actually take the excess off. I kind of overdid this one. Alright, now it's time to put the silver leaf on the head part of my roach glider. And as I start to put it on, I usually always start very delicately. You don't want to press it too hard, since this is very easily teared. I just press very delicately and go over all the detailed carvings that I have on the piece. You definitely don't want to rush with this, so take your time. You have plenty of time to do this with water-based stuff. And with oil-based as well. That's pretty much done now. Alright, I'm gonna start cutting the excess silver leaf off from the lure, and just using my trusty carpet knife here. And I'm just going along the edge of the gill plates here. You don't have to actually press hard at all, since this is very delicate stuff anyway, so you sort of like let it glide through. Let me try to get the tape off from the lure. Alright, there we go. Should come off nice and cleanly. I'm gonna show the other side as well. And basically I just do the same thing to this side as well. Cutting along the edge of the gill plates, not pressing very hard, letting pretty much the blade do all the work. And there we go. Just gonna clean it off with my cotton bud here. I actually could have used this to do this in the beginning, but I prefer to do the cutting thing myself. Right now I'm gonna start doing the sides. Let me just open the adhesive bottle here. And basically this is just the same as the head part. I just start smearing the adhesive onto the side and try to cover all the spots that I'm gonna be actually putting the silver leaf on, and I want it to stick to. And I think I should note here that you kind of have to make sure that you don't get any kind of impurities on any pieces that you might be doing this metal leafing on, like small pieces of metal leaf, because when you start putting the metal leaf onto the piece later on, it sort of picks up any kind of details or imperfections that you might have under it. So small pieces of metal leaf definitely will show up later on, so you have to make sure that you don't leave any of those behind. And it seems like I a little bit overdid the adhesive here, so I'm gonna start patting the excess off. There's one of those metal leaf parts that I was talking about earlier. So now I'm gonna start putting the metal leaf on, and you have to try to be very careful at this stage, or you will screw it up. Pretty much on now, and I just blow gently onto the metal leaf, securing it to its place, and start to press very delicately the metal leaf onto the lure. So basically, same stuff that I did before, just in a little bit bigger scale. And definitely, if you are having a lure that has these kinds of details that I have on mine, like scales and stuff like that, you wanna make sure that you don't actually press too hard, because this stuff will break very easily, and you will get tears. So make sure that you press very gently. And actually, you can um, do a lot more detailed stuff later on as well. When the adhesive has dried, you can still press it on after that. Seems pretty good already. Let me see if the camera can pick up the detailed work. Should look pretty much like that. Alright, now that both of the sides are leafed, I'm gonna start taking off the excess. And unlike before, I'm not actually gonna use a knife this time. I'm just gonna use my cotton bud to just basically brush off the excess leaf that I have here. And I usually let my pieces to dry at least a day, just to make sure. And if you have big areas or big pieces of excess that I have, you can just tear them off pretty much. And then just basically just brush off the excess, and it comes off very easily. And of course, as you guys can see here, I do have these areas that the silver leaf hasn't stick to, so I'm actually gonna have to go through these areas later on. But that's gonna be okay, because since this metal leaf is so thin, you don't actually see the seams afterwards. So in that way, this is pretty forgiving stuff, especially if you have a lot of details, because they do tend to hide the seams pretty well. I guess that is pretty much it. Just gonna go through these little areas and put a little bit more silver leaf. So before painting, I always use something similar to this. This is just acrylic varnish, but usually I do use the 2K kind, which is well, rather expensive, but it's way better than this. But I ran out of it, so I'm forced to use this one this time. So basically, I just add a couple of layers of this. So like always, I figured I would do this sort of like a end result clip in the end. showing you guys what I was able to come up with. Anyway, here's the lure, and as you can see, the scale effect is rather awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial of mine again, and if you enjoyed the video, click the like button. I always appreciate that. And of course, if you feel necessary, you can always subscribe as well. And yeah, I guess until next time again.